Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, today's idiom is to pull the plug on something. So that's when something is discontinued. It could be a process. It could be a particular thing that's been ongoing for a while, but we pull the plug on it when it's no longer serving any purpose. To pull the plug. Let me give you some examples. The BBC has pulled the plug on the 6 o'clock news because it was no longer attracting any viewers. Okay. My boss pulled the plug on that project because he suddenly realized we couldn't actually get all of the parts to complete it. My wife pulled the plug on me watching TV while I'm in bed because she thought it was a bad habit. Now, the first two examples are perhaps more common, okay? It's usually bosses who pull the plug, although in some cases that's the wife, isn't it? The BBC pulled the plug on, so it basically means that they're not going to allow it to continue. To pull the plug on something. You can also use it sarcastically to talk about someone's life ending. The doctors decided to pull the plug on Auntie Jane because she wasn't responding to any of the treatments. Or the United Kingdom has pulled the plug of financial support to, let's say, another country. Okay. The term apparently comes from the medical world, where pulling the plug on the machines that kept people alive could literally result in death. It was basically some kind of informal way to talk about leaving someone to die naturally. But now we use it as a metaphor. You can say it when anything is being discontinued. And of course, you can use it in the passive voice as well if you don't know who's pulling the plug. I fear that the plug will be pulled on that project if we're not careful, for example. Okay, so there's different ways you can say it to pull the plug on something. Speaking of pulling the plug on something, I see that one of our local comedians, Russell Brand, is in trouble. He's not really local to where I live, but he's local in the sense that he's British. He's a very famous comedian, but now a few women have come forward and accused him of inappropriate behavior. And immediately this has sparked an investigation by all of the companies he's ever worked for, ITV, BBC. And the latest headline this morning is saying YouTube are no longer going to allow monetization on his YouTube channel. So they're pulling the plug on him. And it looks like everyone's pulling the plug on him. Whatever happened to a fair trial and not guilty until proven innocent? No, wait, guilt. How do we say that in English? I said that the wrong way round, didn't I? It's innocent until proven guilty. Whatever happened to that? I mean, this man, simply a few women have came forward, but I'm not sure if there's any reality behind the story. The police issued a statement to say that no one has approached them about it, although that could have changed in the last few days. But very publicly, this man has had the plug pulled on him So, doesn't look good. Although, as we say in English, there's no smoke without a fire. So that's another idiom we could use in this case. By the way, speaking of celebrities, I see that today is also Patrick Schwarzenegger's birthday. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. You remember Arnold Schwarzenegger? Hasta la vista, baby. I didn't even know he had a son. Yeah, apparently the son is called Patrick Schwarzenegger. He was born in 1993. Oh, interesting. Yeah, apparently he's 30 years old, and he's a model with Ralph Lauren, and he co-founded a philanthropic company, Project 360, with his father. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and he acts as well, apparently. Yeah, he's the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver, and he has 4 siblings. He dated, is it Miley Cyrus? Miley Cyrus? I don't know who that is. And then he became involved with somebody called Abby Champion. Oh, he was in a video for Ariana Grande's pop music video, the song Right There. But he'd be very young then, wouldn't he? If he's 30 now, he'd only be 20 then, I guess, more or less. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Well, that's today's celebrity birthday, Patrick Schwarzenegger. I'm not sure I'd really heard of him, but anyway, well, very interesting, very interesting. And I'm not sure what happened to the father. Didn't he enter politics? Perhaps he had the plug pulled on his acting career. I don't know. But yeah, so that's today's birthday. It's Patrick Schwarzenegger. Speaking of pulling the plug, I had a note from my telephone company the other day to say they're pulling the plug on landlines. So right now, if you have Wi-Fi installed in your house, it comes automatically with a landline. So you basically have your socket where you plug in the Wi-Fi to the telephony system, but it has another place for plugging in your telephone, and they give you a landline telephone number. But since nobody uses it, they're now saying the number of landline users are so small, they're going to discontinue the use and use the extra space to give us better Wi-Fi. So yeah, that's something else they're pulling the plug on. Another thing that's being pulled or having the plug pulled upon it is Scotland's gender reforms. The local government in Scotland wants to make it really easy for people to change their gender. But of course, the central government in London blocked it, saying, no, it's not a devolved thing, meaning it's not a local government thing. And there's a big court case about that soon. A lot of very unhappy people. So that had the plug pulled on it, but maybe not after the court case. Maybe the controversial court case will be okay and will change opinion on that. I don't know, but that's kind of big news right now. Yes. So finally, to pull the plug on something, to kill it or discontinue it, to stop something, to prevent something moving forwards, or to bring something to an end. Okay, and of course, literally, it's all about pulling the plug from the wall, okay, which is something a little bit different. So if your TV is not working, you could say, oh, I'll just pull the plug, see what happens, plug it back in a minute. You know, that advice we always get from help desk engineers. My PC is not working. Okay, switch it off and back on, or switch it off for 5 minutes, take the plug out and plug it back in again. Right, that's it. See you all soon. Bye.